Hi, I'm Liv, and today I decided to make my own cream bronzer. Kinda, sorta, not really. Okay, so to be honest, I had two separate products that didn't work for me. One was the Uoma Beauty Sculpt and Strobe Stick. It's too dark. Another was a Juvia's Place Foundation Stick. It's too light. So I decided to mix them both together. And I made this bronzer. It looks like a mess in here, but this is how it turned out. I'm pretty psyched about it. If you would like to see how I did it, then keep watching. It's pretty simple, really, to be totally honest. Side note, I did want to be clear about that. I'm just mixing two products together. I know that the title of this might be a little clickbaity sounding. I'm not manufacturing my own product from raw ingredients. I'm mixing a couple things together, trying something out. Nothing special, but if you would like to watch how I did it and got this product, which I'm actually pretty psyched about and I'm wearing it right now, then keep watching. Okay, let's get right to business. What I have here is an old Sephora moisturizer tub. I don't love this, so I wouldn't recommend getting it, but why not reuse it? This looks like it'll be excellent for mixing some bronzer. I have a reference, which is my Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer in the shade Bronzer. So we're gonna sort of try and get to this kind of shade. Then the two products that I'm gonna be mixing is my Juvia's Place Stick Foundation. This is in the shade Barcelona, and it's just a titch too light for me. I also don't love the formula. I'm hoping that this all works together. I don't know. Never tried this, don't know how this is gonna turn out. The bronzer that we're gonna be using is the Uoma Beauty Sculpt and Strobe Stick. I got the shade Fair Lady, and it is way too dark for me. The highlight shade is the exact color of my skin tone. It's actually almost a perfect match. And the bronzer slash contour is probably a good 4 shades too deep for me. I think the formula is lovely. I don't even know how much is in here. Let's have a look, actually. Oh, okay, so that's not very much product at all. It was $10 plus $5 or $6 shipping, and that is how much product comes with this. I've used it once. I'll show you the look right over there. You can see it's way too deep for me. I did use their calculator thing, I'm pretty sure. I think it had like a bunch of questions of your skin tone, and I'm never the lightest shade typically, and the lightest shade looked like it wouldn't show up on my skin tone, and it also looked a little pinky hued. This looked just a bit more caramel. This looked just a little better suited to me, but it's obviously too deep. Okay, what I have here is a little spatula tool that came with a palette that I got on Amazon. I'm gonna tilt the camera down and see if we can get any sort of view of the table here. Okay, you guys, I hope that this video turns out okay. I had to turn my ring light off, so we're somewhat sort of in darkness here. Hopefully you guys can see okay. I just wanted you to watch the process with me. So I'm just going to try and do a little at a time, and we're just gonna sort of shave off a good chunk of this. Ooh, interesting. Should we zoom you in at all? No, that sort of just cuts it out. Okay, so we're gonna have to stay a little far back there, but all right. Got a nice chunk of this chocolatey shade, and we'll pop it in there. And then I'm assuming a little less than a 50-50 split should suffice. Neither of these products were working for me, so I feel okay destroying them, but it still feels a bit uncomfortable anyways. Oh, and as a side note, let's see how much of this foundation stick there is. Quite a bit more than the bronzer, in all honesty. Okay, let's see how. Get a little piece of fuzz out of there. Let's actually blend these in here so that we don't waste any product. The bronzer feels quite hard and the foundation feels very creamy. And I'll try do this so that you guys can see it, and hopefully it's not too blurry. Ooh, gosh, it looks delicious. It looks like melted chocolate, to be totally honest. I thought that this was gonna be way more full of product in my mind. Clearly. Okay, that's in no way looking lighter at all. So we're gonna grab a whole chunk more of this, shave quite a bit more off, pop that in there and start massaging it together. It's making me want to go find a tiny little pot to stick this in. I'm sure I have one. That is looking like a much better shade already for me. And it's much softer and creamier, so I'm not sure how this is gonna affect the application of this as a bronzer. It might totally mess it up. My initial thought was to combine the bronze and the highlight together to make an interesting shade, but the highlight is quite shimmery, so I did not want to do that. Let's hold this up next to my Physicians Formula. That's actually getting very close. That is very, very close. And you know what? I'm just going to dump this entire thing in now that I know we have more than enough foundation to make this happen. Oh, there's a bit more that was stuck in there. So we'll just pop that right in, and I'm gonna get a nice good chunk of foundation. Ooh, this is quite fun. I do hope this turns out okay. Really, really hope so. I mean, ultimately, the product was kind of unusable for me because it was so deep. I could use it for theatrical looks, but to be honest, I have a couple powder bronzers that are already wrong enough for me that I could use them for more theatrical stuff anyways, you know what I mean? So really, I just wanted to get over my urge to get that Colourpop or a Soul Body bronzer straight away. This is looking delicious. I wonder if I put it in a good little pot. There's a hair in here, that's gross. If I put it in a pot and put it in the fridge, I wonder if that would help. Ooh, that's looking nice and contoury too. Oh my goodness, that is a really good shade. That is an excellent bronzy contour shade. I've sort of always wanted a shade that could be used both for bronze and a contour. Like I think Fenty Butter Biscuit is supposed to be good for that, or so I've heard. I'm gonna blend this as much as I can and then find something good to deposit it into. It's a little deeper than Butter Bronzer, but I kind of want something with a bit more of a glow, to be totally honest. And the Butter Bronzer can be quite subtle. I don't know though, should I pop a bit more of the foundation in? All right, let's pop just a tiny bit more. Tiny bit more, let's drop this shade down just a little bit. It's practically a 100% mix of both of these products. And I'm going to give it a try without doing anything else to it, and then I will refrigerate it and see if that helps. Okay, let's get that nice and blended all the way through. And now I'm like, should I just dump the whole thing in? No. Let's keep it just a little bit deeper. No, I gotta do it. I gotta get all the foundation in. I'm sure there's some still inside this, but I don't think I want quite that much. I'll just shave it off. Get on in there. That is looking gorgeous. Boop. Really looking like a good shade. For some reason, that swatch there looks a little more cool tone than that there. Not sure why, but both of them do look like a good shade for me. Barcelona, the Juvia's Place foundation, is an excellent shade match. It's just too light, but it's like the right combination of tones for me, if that makes sense. Sort of yellow neutral. Okay guys, I think that looks well mixed. I'm going to go see if I can find a smaller pot, and I'm gonna pack that in and we will come back out. Oh gosh, okay, that took a little bit of running around, but what I found is this little pot that I have from Deck of Scarlet. It held a glow up jelly glitter sort of thing that I just never ended up using because it was just straight glitter. And then when I decanted it, I was like, oh, it's kind of pretty, but we're gonna put this delicious bronzer right in there. Should I move you down again for that? Yeah, hopefully it's okay with the lights on. Okay, oof. It's just so much more liquidy than it was previously. I'm actually going to clean the spatula with my brush and use this as my way of applying a little bit onto my brush. So I will put this on my face in a bit. It's quite a lot, but it's okay. I think it's okay. Yeah, it's okay. And I'm gonna switch sides of my spatula because this is the flat side and see if I can get more product like this. Oh yeah. This is gonna sound weird, but I think I'm actually gonna use my finger. Really is an excellent tool, so let's see if this helps. Since this product is just for me, I can do this. Gosh, it's really coated the sides. Let's see if I can use this to sort of push it in more. Get on in there. Get in there. Go on. I might microwave it a bit. No, there's like tinfoil on the edge. Ugh. Maybe I'll do the thing where you like let it sit in a pot of hot water or something. I might do that. Let it sort of melt like chocolate on the stove, combine together and make something pretty looking. Come on, let's get our final bits out of here. Don't want to waste any. All right, I'm gonna call that good. Yeah, and I'm gonna go wash my hands and we'll zoom back out again. Hello again. Oh my goodness. I tried to wash this stuff off and I could barely get it off my hand. So I think that the foundation must have increased the staying power. I have some on my brush here. I'm gonna do this side with this brush because it's dried, and then we'll use a different brush for the other side so that I can see if this would be better. That's still incredibly deep. Good Lord. Should I even just stick the rest of the foundation in there? That's too deep, isn't it? Yeah, that's too deep. Okay, I'm going to stick the rest of the foundation into the tub that I have now. I'll just hold it up and show you. I'm gonna wipe this off my face because this is just way too deep. Okay, I've cleaned off my brush and my face pretty much. And we're just gonna see if we can get a nice chunk of foundation out of here and lighten this up some more, because that is still too deep. I can't believe that even with almost a whole stick of foundation, that was still so deep. So now we have an entire stick of Juvia's Place foundation that is going in here. We got some more still I can get out. There we go. Pop that in there. Okay, so we're gonna mix that much more in there. I don't think it's gonna make a huge amount of difference. I don't know. It does feel like a lot of product though, so I hope so. And it's filling out this little tub quite nicely. I'm sure there are lightning drops or something that I could get. Or obviously I could get a whole different product, but I kind of wanted to mix together things that I already had instead of buying something new. Use something that I purchased that wasn't gonna work for me otherwise. That is looking a little bit nicer. I think what we're gonna need to do is get this product solidified a bit more before we apply it at all. So that's what I'm gonna go do. I will take some video with my phone. We're going to go try melt this a little bit on the stove, then let it solidify, then we will meet back and see how it applies. And I'll just wash off my face entirely. So we're starting with a blank slate. Okay. Still doing okay? Still leaking over there. Grrr, I noticed that there was some product in the water. So it's actually coming apart at the seams. But I think that if I cool this down, then that won't occur. But I kind of want to look at what it looks like inside right now, but I think I'd rather cool it first. I don't know. Should we look? Let's look. No, let's cool it. No, let's look. Let's look. Okay, that helped a little bit more. It's looking a bit better dispersed. I might bang it around a little bit more and then stick it in the fridge or the freezer. Maybe the freezer. Yeah, let's do it. Okay, so you saw that didn't go super well. I put this in the freezer for about half an hour, just chilled it out a little. I think it still needs a bit of refrigerating, but I really want to try it out. The tone is looking quite nice. It's still quite deep, but goodness, if it's this deep now with a whole stick of very light foundation in it, then it was definitely too deep before. I have my Real Techniques contour brush, I think it's called, the something, I don't know, but I got this at Angelica Neekvist's recommendation and I really love it. So we're gonna test this out. Ugh, just a titch. Just boof it in there. Actually, that looks pretty good. It's not coming out much. Okay. And to be totally honest, I'm probably going to buff it on my hand a little bit. Just pat it around since the product surface is uneven. Okay, I'm excited. And I reapplied my BB cream, even though my skin looks a little uneven, but let's tap that on. Okay, It's quite warm tone, but looking a bit better. I'll tap it on up here. Dang, it's pigmented. How does it get warmer toned when I added a light base? Maybe I need to add like a gray or something to it. I mean, I do think that this is looking like a very nice bronze shade though, but I was hoping it was going to turn out as contoury as it looked on my hand in that one swatch earlier. Buff the excess under my chin. Okay, I'm gonna dab in for a little more. Yeah, on my hand it looks really interesting. Much more cool tone. Go in here. I'm certainly liking the depth of the shade more. I'm actually gonna grab some more. Just get those glosses out of there. Huh. I'm actually really liking this. And I'd be super tempted to see how this compares to the Soul Body now. So it didn't necessarily dissuade me from wanting that, but now I just want to compare it. Ooh, I went in too much. Dab this over here a little and clean that up. Oof, this is so pigmented. I just dabbed in for a little more for under here. It's so pigmented. I'm actually really enjoying building this up. Like, I think the tone is quite gorgeous. What do we think? What do you think? I like this a lot. It's not perfect, but I think it's much more wearable than the product was before. Both of those products were not wearable for me. So I think now we have a really gorgeous sun-kissed sort of cream bronzer going on. I like this. What do you think? Anyways, that was super fun. Thanks so much for coming on this journey with me. I'm glad that I have my own little pot of cream bronzer. I might somehow find a way to get this a little better fitted in here. Like, I obviously don't love that it looks like a huge mess, but it's all right for now. Let me know what you think. What do you think of this tone? Have you tried something like this before, mixing your own bronzer or cream products from stuff that you have? I have a lot of other stuff that doesn't fit me, and thinking of that, there's the highlight. I have an idea for this. If you're interested in seeing how I might mix this into a more usable product for me, then let me know down below. If you found this video helpful, fun, or interesting, please do give it a thumbs up, stick around and subscribe while you're here, and hit that notification bell so you can hear when I post a video about this highlight. I'm psyched about cream products, and now that I think about it, I should actually try this bronzer with my fingers because that's how I like using products oftentimes. So maybe I'll do that. If I have an update on how disastrously that goes, I will let you know down below. Wherever you are, I hope you're having the best day that you possibly can. Be kind to the people around you. And thanks for hanging out.